Welcome to the latest edition of Inside Carolina. I'm your host, Hannah Horn, a proud alumna of the university. We begin this episode inside this beautiful law school. We'll introduce you to a successful alumna who now sits on one of the nation's highest courts. We'll also learn how the university is telling South Carolina's civil rights stories and how the university is going above and beyond to welcome veterans and military service members to campus as students. Join us for all that as we go inside Carolina. A 1991 alumna of the University of South Carolina, J. Michelle Childs, was recently confirmed by the U.S. Senate to sit on one of the highest courts in the nation. Judge Childs actually earned degrees in business and law here at the university. We recently caught up with her at her office at the federal courthouse in Columbia about this exciting new chapter in her career. Judge Childs, thank you so much for joining us today on Inside Carolina, as you are an alumna who makes us all so incredibly proud with the latest news of your appointment to the D.C. Circuit Court.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's my pleasure.
When did you become interested in the law profession?
Well, actually, I had the opportunity to be in a mock trial setting while in high school. And so that was my first introduction actually into the law. I'm not from a family of lawyers, and so that was a wonderful opportunity for the bar to assist in giving me an eye-opener into the legal profession.
So you went to Columbia High School, right here in Columbia.
Correct.
You were class president?
I was class president and valedictorian.
So you've been blazing trails for a long time, and it was in that experience in high school that you had the mock trial experience?
Yes.
Did you know at that point that there was a career attached to this to go into law, or was it just something did you plan on becoming a lawyer, or was it just something that interested you?
At that point, it just interested me, just became something that was an option in life.
Go back to graduating undergrad, South Florida, and you have the opportunity to go to multiple law schools after a successful undergrad career. Why did you choose the University of South Carolina?
Well, I wanted to come back to Columbia, but at the time I had been offered a full scholarship to Florida State Law School, and then it eventually worked out just a month before law school that I got a full scholarship to USC.
As students are preparing for their law career at the law school, what are some of the things that are happening inside the law school, the subjects that are being taught that are preparing them for real life relevant experience in the real world?
Well, I would say that the law school has a very strong writing curriculum, that if you're going to be a lawyer, you have to research well and write well. But then they're also on cutting edge subjects. For example, at the DC Circuit, I'll be dealing with a lot of administrative law. So they have courses there, healthcare law, and of course some of your basic core courses, which would be in constitutional law and any type of criminal procedure or civil procedure.
In this role, in terms of hierarchy in the court, but also some of the cases that will come before you, what types of law will you be interpreting and deciding on?
Thank you. Well, a lot of people would call DC Circuit the second highest court in the land. We will hear cases from the trial court of the District of Columbia, but then we will also hear cases of national import, including national security, congressional power, and executive power as well.
Michelle, I would say good luck or make us proud, but you already have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What a career Judge Childs has already had, and to think she's just getting started in many ways. To talk about how meaningful this appointment is to not only the university, but to the legal community, we spoke with Law School Dean William Hubbard. For more on what Judge Childs' appointment means to the community, and especially the community of Gamecocks, we had to make a stop at the University of South Carolina Law School and talk to Dean William Hubbard. Dean Hubbard, thank you so much for joining us inside Carolina. You have known Judge Childs throughout her career. What was your initial impression of her? When did you first meet her?
I met Judge Childs when she was actually a law student, and I followed her career, and of course she's always stood out because of her intelligence and the way she carries herself. You always knew that Judge Childs was going to be a great success.
Well said. The word of the day seems to be pride or proud of the work that she has done, is doing, and no doubt will do in this new appointment. What is the buzz around the law school seeing one of your students on the short list of the Supreme Court and, again, where she is now?
Well, it certainly brought great excitement to the law school, and it brought great pride to the students here at the law school. They could see that this is a place where you can go anywhere you want to go with a law degree from the University of South Carolina School of Law. The law school's mission is to produce lawyer leaders for their community, state, and nation. And we're doing that here. We are fulfilling that mission, and our lawyers go on to do great things, and Judge Childs is exhibit A for that sort of success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's so much happening in the Gamecock family, and we love sharing their news with you. Here are a few recent highlights. For the fourth year in a row, South Carolina has been ranked #1 in the country among public universities for first-year student experience. And for the 24th year in a row, the university's International Business program earned the #1 spot in U.S. News rankings. South Carolina native Asia Wilson has been named 2022 WNBA MVP. Wilson led the Las Vegas Aces to the team's first championship this year, just 5 years after leading the Gamecocks to their first national championship. President Michael Amaritas met with students last month for an event called Imagine Carolina, where students shared their vision for the future of the university. The event is part of the university's unmatched commitment to the student experience. There's a lot happening at the University Center for Civil Rights History and Research, including a new partnership with the National Park Service. To learn more, we spoke with the center's director, Bobby Donaldson. The University Center for Civil Rights History and Research is now a key partner of the National Park Service's African American Civil Rights Network.
A great deal of what we've accomplished over the last 5 years would not be possible without the investment of the National Park Service. Now, with over $3 million of funding from the National Park Service, the University of South Carolina is uniquely positioned to lead the way in the teaching of the civil rights movement in this country.
This partnership will not only support expansion of the center's work, but also establish new ways to deepen our understanding of pivotal moments and people in the American civil rights movement. Civil rights leaders in South Carolina played a critical role in advancing civil rights across the country. So I'm especially excited to have this investment right here in this state.
I was told that South Carolinians never contributed anything to the civil rights effort. That's because we have been negligent in putting our place in history for everybody to learn from. So everybody should know that when Rosa Parks sat down on that bus or stood up and refused to give up her seat, that if you read the court case, you will see in the court case that that was not a case that integrated public transportation. The Supreme Court wrote it in the footnote that we have already decided this question. And it was decided in the case of Sarah Mae Fleming versus South Carolina Electric and Gas. And it's there. But nobody ever knew it. This center will correct that sort of thing because that is present throughout South Carolina's history.
We must invest in opportunities that offer the chance for the true and honest stories straight from survivors and their descendants. That is how we heal as a nation. That is how we can truly and honestly face the fact that the American story has not always included all of us. It's when we explore injustice that we can ensure that it never happens again.
The university prides itself on welcoming and supporting veterans and military service members. And just recently, the university was ranked #1 college by Military Times' Best for Vets list. We spoke with Jared Evans, who leads the military engagement initiatives here on campus, about the significance of this designation.
My name is Jared Evans, and I'm the Executive Director of Veterans and Military Affairs here at the University of South Carolina. Last year was the first time ever that we were recognized by Military Times, and they're the gold standard when it comes to assessing universities and colleges and how they're supporting and engaging their veteran and military student population. And last year we ranked 114th, and this year we went from 114 to first.
When I heard about the ranking, it did not surprise me because everybody here at the Vet Mill, we take care of our people and we take care of the students here. So I'm so happy that they got that ranking because they pretty much deserve it.
I mean, it feels amazing. When you think about the University of South Carolina, we're the flagship university of a state with over 400,000 veterans and 8 military installations. So to think, going back to 2018, when we had one person on campus essentially processing benefits, and then to fast forward to 2022, where we now have this beautiful 3,400 square foot center. We have an entire department of staff. I think it really comes back to engagement. We've moved from transactional to transformational. We have a really active Student Veterans Association, and that really started taking off around 2015.
I'm so thankful that they saw a place for me and they saw that there was a need for me to have that structure back in my life. And for them to take on a veteran and kind of adopt me into their own program without me even being a member, and to show me how to do everything I needed to do around the campus, that shows me that they prioritize veterans and they prioritize taking care of their people first.
We're very proud of how far we've come. For me, just personally, as an alum and a veteran, to see how far that the university has come in this space means a great deal to me. And I know it's made an impact for so many of our veteran and military students as well.
Having to deal with the transition of being outside of the military and transitioning to, not knowing what's going to happen with the COVID pandemic crisis and not being able to find a job because of COVID, I think all of that was weighing so heavy on me. But when I came to campus, everybody literally sat me down and was like, what do you need? How can I help you? How can I be a resource to you? I was so lost, but this office was probably my safe haven. It was really my safe haven. And I'm so thankful for that.
We are committed as a university to continue to support this student population that we recognize as a value add to the institution. And we are 100% committed to serving those who serve.
Thank you for joining us on this latest edition of Inside Carolina. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends, your family, and fellow alumni. We'll see you next month, Inside Carolina.